everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into a topic that, usually gets filed away under accounting, but it's actually an incredibly powerful strategic tool for any manager. We're talking about inventory costing. So let me ask you this. You're trying to set your budget for next year, you're trying to figure out your pricing strategy, and you have to report on your performance. But the cost of your materials, it's all over the map. Sky high one month, then it drops the next. So how in the world do you build a stable plan on ground that's constantly shifting? It's a huge challenge, for sure. And the answer, well, it lies in how you decide to look at your numbers. And that brings us to weighted average costing. The real strength of this method, the reason we're focusing on it today, is that it brings a sense of calm and stability to the often crazy world of inventory prices. So what is it exactly? Well, instead of obsessing over the individual cost of every single batch of inventory you buy, the weighted average method kind of blends them all together. It figures out one single average cost for every identical item you have sitting in your warehouse. Just think of it like creating one smooth blended cost that represents your entire stock. And the best part for any manager who isn't a CPA, the math is incredibly simple. You just take the total dollar amount of all your inventory and divide it by the total number of units you have. That's it. Boom. You get one number, the weighted average cost, that you can use for every single unit. It's clean, it's consistent, and it's easy. But this is where it gets really strategic. See, that simplicity isn't just for convenience. It actually changes the entire story your financial statements are telling. So let's take a look at how this smoothing effect really works. I love this analogy. Using other methods like FIFO, that's first in, first out, or LIFO, last in, first out, can feel like you're driving down a really bumpy road, but you're just staring at the pavement right in front of your tires. You feel every single jolt, and you're way more likely to overreact. But the weighted average method? That's like lifting your eyes and looking further down the road. It smooths out all those little bumps, giving you a much clearer, more stable view of where you're actually going. And this slide right here really frames that strategic choice, doesn't it? Methods like FIFO and LIFO are super reactive. They grab the very latest or the very oldest costs, which means your reported profits can swing wildly every time the market hiccups. But the weighted average method? It gives you that stable, blended cost. It just smooths out all those market jitters, which is absolutely crucial if you want to do any kind of consistent long-term planning. And this is exactly why that smoothing effect is such a big deal. When your reported profits are nice and consistent, it's way easier to build stable budgets. Your investors see that stability and it builds confidence. And internally, it helps you create fairer performance reviews because your team's results aren't getting totally skewed by some short-term price spike that was completely out of their control. Okay, so this all leads us to the final and maybe most important takeaway. We have to stop thinking about this as just some accounting checkbox we have to tick. This is a fundamental strategic decision. Here's the crucial point. The method you pick fundamentally shapes the data you use to make decisions. It is the lens through which you, your team, and your investors see how your company is performing. It's not passive. It actively influences your strategy. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It really captures the whole idea. Are you telling a story of reacting to every little market tremor, or are you telling a story of steady, long-term stability? The data you create is going to guide your decisions, so you have to decide which data is going to give you the clearest view of the road ahead. And that is the question I really want to leave you with. Go take a look at your own reports. What story are they telling? Is it helping you plan for the future with confidence, or is it just reflecting the chaos of right now? The choice and the strategy that comes from it is all yours. Thanks so much for joining me.